Draymond Green.
Oh, what a play by Murray. Skies and jackhammers it in. They call that a clunker.
Well, watch Toscano get out the way in the air. I'm going to go. Oh, no, never mind. Bye-bye.
What a pass right there. What a pass. He is Houdini.
Beautiful. Oh, play right there. Steph made sure he gave him the goggles.
Kelly Oubre now has a 40-piece. Bradley Beal, top scorer in the league, checking in.
LeBron, quick question. Chiefs or Buccaneers?
I'm going to give y'all the answer that everyone always gives on TV. I just want to see a great game.
Welcome to The Jump. We all want to see a great game, LeBron. I'm Rachel Nichols, joined by 2008 NBA champ Kendrick Perkins, and oh yes, the future Hall of Famer in his amazing Obama tan suit. I'm all over that suit. You look nice. Record 22 NBA seasons, Mr. Vince Carter. Always a treat. Coming up, guys, we're going to talk about ahead of the Warriors game, Saturday, prime time, ABC. Draymond Green looked fabulous last night. He and I sat down to discuss, well, just a little bit of everything, guarding Luka Doncic, mentoring James Wiseman, maybe a little Rodney McGruder. You're going to want to stick around for that conversation. First, though, LeBron James, already a 16-time All-Star. And when the first wave of fan votes for this year's All-Star teams came out yesterday, not surprisingly, LeBron led all Western Conference players in voting. Which matters because, according to a league memo shared with teams and obtained by Adrian Wojnarowski, the NBA and the Players Association are expected by next week to have finalized an agreement for not just picking all-star teams, which the league was always expected to do, right? You need those for contracts and everything else, but hold an actual all-star game on March 7th in Atlanta. Per the memo, the single-night event will encompass the game as well as the skills competitions, and so LeBron was asked about all this last night. And LeBron was not pleased last night. Take a listen.
I have zero energy and zero excitement about an all-star game this year. I don't even understand why we're having an all-star game. But it's the agreement that the Players Association and the league came about. Short off season for myself and my teammates was 71 days. And then coming to this season, we were told that we were not having an all-star game. So we had a nice little break. 5 days from the 5th through the 10th, an opportunity for me to kind of recalibrate for the second half of the season, my teammates as well, some of the guys in the league. And then they throw an all-star game on us like this and just breaks that all the way up. So pretty much it kind of a slap in the face. We're also still dealing with a pandemic. We're still dealing with everything that's been going on. And we're going to bring the whole league into one city that's open. Obviously, the pandemic has absolutely nothing to do with it at this point when it comes to that weekend. Obviously, you guys can see I'm not very happy about it, but it's out of my hands. And, I'll be there if I'm selected. But I'll be there physically, but not mentally.
Wow, a lot there. A slap in the face, LeBron James says. Now, Vince, you were an 8-time All-Star, and you also were an All-Star over the time. I just want to give context here. The league evolved, where they used to just sort of throw you into the All-Star game, throw you back at your teams. Then the Players Union negotiated having a few extra days on each end. Right. So the guys who were All-Stars could at least also get a break. That's not going to exist this time either. It's really just a 4 or 5 day stretch to be off from your regular schedule, and they want these guys to fly to Atlanta. How would you feel if you were LeBron?
I would feel just like he feels, because think about this. You're asking these guys to have a quick turnaround, shorten off season to get back in. And obviously money is involved. So if you come back, you make your money. OK, cool. You agree with these guys that that's when I had bounce back then, by the way.
Yeah.
But you agree with these guys.
I saw you last year, Vince. You still had bounce. Continue.
A little bit. But you get these guys to buy into coming back, and you're promising them that they will have 5 days off, no All-Star game, and you can utilize that time to, obviously to catch up with missed games. But these guys came into the season, particularly Lakers and the Heat, feeling like, hey, this will be the chance where they can kind of relax and play catch up to everyone else who had some time off. And now all of a sudden you're saying there's an All-Star game, and I'm here in Atlanta, and it's open. You're free to do whatever just about around here. So I understand their concern, and when you bring the whole entire league here, or at least All-Stars at risk. I mean, you're talking about all the All-Stars, all the best players from the best teams coming into Atlanta, I don't know. So, and then, and one more thing I want to add to that, that you're hearing other guys, and I hear some people saying, oh, De'Aaron Fox and whatever, saying what he had to say. All of these guys feel the same. It's like they don't feel safe. Clearly, that's what it is. And somewhere there's some miscommunication between players and the union, and it needs to be fixed.
Well, absolutely. And one word comes to mind with me, and it's the word trust. The word trust, because the players trusted the NBA and the Players Association word when they gave it to them before the start of the season, when they told them that it wasn't going to be an all-star game or all-star weekend. And so with that being said, when you look into it and look at how the players sacrifice so much, a short turnaround, guys not being able to have a full training camp, and said, you know what, we'll make the schedule early and make Christmas Day. We'll make the Christmas Day game happen because we know how important this is to the NBA. We know how important this is to fans and to everybody, the Christmas Day game. The players are sacrificing a lot, being stuck in their hotel rooms, testing daily to make sure that these games happen. And on the flip side of that, games are still getting postponed. So everyone is still figuring things out for us dealing with this pandemic. And yet you have an all-star, you just throw in an all-star game, an all-star weekend, just on the spur of the moment, without really having no real communication. It breaks the trust. This is why you get things in writing. This is why you have to have things under contract because of situations like this.
You know what, Perk? I've learned that even when you get something in writing, that doesn't always mean anything.
Yeah, this is a fact too. That's a fact too. But I want to add one more thing. And you want your product, the NBA product, to be at its best on the second part of the season, because that's leading into the playoffs and in the playoffs. So you want these guys to get as much rest as possible, so you have your best player and your best product on the floor to show the world, especially being like it is now. You don't have a lot of fans. So the basketball, Perk, you would agree, has been very competitive and very good. So don't mess with that. Don't mess with that,
And I don't want to pretend like anyone's digging ditches in the NBA. Everyone is very privileged and they're traveling on private planes and in a privileged way. That being said, just to give an accurate idea of what is going on and different this season, teams now are being asked to test on the morning of games super early so that those results are back before tip-off. Because remember, we had a couple examples early in the season where results came back when a guy was already on the bench, and they were trying to avoid that. That means some teams travel the night before, get in, have to wake up, test at 6 a.m., then have their whole schedule and game day. Again, not a hardship in the grand scheme of things, but to give context to what these guys are doing every day right now and why that 5-day break might have been more important to them. All right, speaking of LeBron James, nobody knows him better than Dwayne Wade. Many believe LeBron was at his absolute peak. It's a long prime, but his absolute peak when he won 2 titles playing alongside Wade. But when he was on the No Chill podcast with our friend Gilbert Arenas the other day, Dwayne said he thinks LeBron is better now than he was then.
Watching the way he played the game, and I got a chance to see him at what we think was his best LeBron in 2012. We feel like that was the best LeBron that we've seen, right? And it was at times where maybe everybody on the outside or even inside, you were frustrated because you were like, Bron, just do that. Just take a guy to the block. And there were certain things he just wouldn't do at certain times. And so now I watch his game and I say, does he have a weakness in his game? And I start from the rim all the way back to half court. He can do everything. Well, no, let's take it even back. Let's take it all the way back from the rebound, right? He does everything now. So now he's good at everything. He's shooting high 40 and 3 points now. And his range is out to the logo, right? You know him mid-range. He can post you up. He can face you up. He's still gonna dunk on you. His ability to see the floor now is so much, it's better now because he's seen every coverage. Like, it's at the point now where I'm looking at this guy and say, I've never seen nobody get better at 36 years old. Like, this doesn't happen. And I feel like this is the best, as a fan now, I'm watching, I think this is the best LeBron that I've seen.
First of all, shout out to Gilbert's couch there. I don't know if it's velvet, fine Corinthian leather. It's lovely. I think Draymond Green might agree with Wade, though. Just last night, he tweeted, yo, why is King James still getting better? How? Perk, do you agree with Dwayne saying LeBron is at his best right now, as opposed to, say, that 2013 season when everyone thought, okay, this is the best a human can be playing basketball?
Yes. Yes. And look, here's the thing, Rachel. I sit back and I watch a lot of basketball, and I watch the Lakers, and I'm looking at LeBron, and I'm saying, when is Father Time going to catch up with him? When is he going to start to decline athletically? And when is he going to take a back seat to Anthony Davis? Well, guess what? I thought he was going to come into this season and have a lot of load management. He haven't even missed a game. And on top of all that, he's playing at an MVP level, and his game has gotten even better. So that goes to show me in the offseason that LeBron James is not wasting his time or no one else's time, that he's actually a true student of the game. When you watch a guy that makes pinpoint passes, knows his personnel, knows who he's playing with, when you watch him deliver a corner pass, cross-court pass to KCP, Caldwell Pope, and Caldwell Pope don't have to dip to catch it or reach up high to catch it. It's in his shooting pocket. It's a phenomenal thing to see. And now we're seeing a LeBron James read defenses offensively and saying, okay, you gonna give me this three? I've been working on this. I'm gonna get to my spots. I know that I could take 7 jabs to get my rhythm. And watching him do this at the age of 36 and year 18 is just a beautiful thing to watch, because I'm jealous. Me and LeBron are the same age, and here I am starting my second career in life, and he's still going strong.
Hey, and I want to add to that is that, not only is he shooting a three, better and with confidence, they're fadeaway threes, they're step back threes. You don't go from okay, or, give him the three to okay shooter to a pretty good shooter to shooting step back threes and have to guard that from a player who didn't. I mean, he's shooting this like he's been doing this since he walked into the league, and it's great to see. And I agree with you guys. He has gotten better, and the game comes easy to him, and he has studied the game, and you don't see him running downhill like the night train anymore. Right. But he's still as effective, because when he wants to, he does it. Well, and he doesn't have to. Like you said, he's figured out the nuances of the game, and how can I still be me and be the greatest, in the game right now, and do it. And it's just amazing. No, it's fascinating to me, Vince, because yes, his prime is extended. Yes, he is a little bit of a different player, but this idea of him getting better. Vince, you played against him when he was in Miami. You played against him when he was with the Lakers. You're one of the few people to have done the full span. In fact, you played against him when he was a rookie. You're one of the few people to do the full span. Is he better now? Is he better? Not just as good, but better. He's better. I mean, because he can do all things at every level. D-Wade said he can score in the paint, in the mid post, free throw line, 3-point line. As a rookie in his first couple of years, yeah, he would hit a couple of threes. But we all said, you would agree with this, back up. Yeah. Make him shoot it. You don't want him to get downhill. You don't want to see him to see an open paint. Now, if he sees an open paint, or if he sees that he has a step back three, he can take that. So now, how do you guard him? How do you guard him? Yep. Well, you have to double team him. And that doesn't always work out when Anthony Davis is also on the floor. All right, guys, coming up, Donovan Mitchell missed a dunk last night, which made our producers look into the greatest dunker of all time, who happens to be on this show. What happened to dunks that didn't make all the highlight reels you always see? The greatest dunks never. Plus, distant replay. That's coming up right next.